So you started working out, which is of course amazing. And now you're wondering, how long does it take before I see some real results? Is it going to be weeks, months, maybe never because I started way later than everybody else and I cannot possibly catch up? If you've been feeling impatient or unsure, today's video will clear things up for you. First, let's talk about why there's no one-size-fits-all timeline when it comes to getting results from your workouts as a beginner. When does it happen that you start seeing results and actually visibly seeing them depends on several factors. These factors include your age, your workout plan, your workout frequency, your recovery, your nutrition, the level of stress, and even genetics. But I want to make sure that you don't use genetics as a reason to not start working out or give up too easily. Sometimes people might say, oh, everybody in my family is out of shape, nobody's fit, and I cannot get fit either. And this is just not true. Absolutely everybody can improve and everybody can get fitter. I just listed a lot of factors that impact how soon you start seeing results. But don't worry, I'm going to give you realistic timelines and break everything down from week to week so you know exactly what to expect as a beginner. So let's say that this is week 1 and you have just started working out. Here are some of the changes that you're most likely going to notice. You realize that your energy is better. You might sleep better and your mood might be better. And also you might get a little bit sore. This is nothing to be alarmed about. This is totally normal, and this is how your body adapts to this new change. It's absolutely okay. These changes, better mood, better sleep, better energy, are not visible yet, but they are clear messages from the body to keep going. Weeks 3 to 5. These are the weeks when you're starting to notice small physical changes. Your muscles feel fuller and firmer when you squeeze them. You're noticing slight increases in strength. Some exercises that used to be difficult at first are starting to feel a little bit easier and more comfortable. And one thing that a lot of people don't expect but oftentimes happens is that your bloating might go down, especially if you have also cleaned up your diet a little bit. Weeks 6 to 8 are the weeks when you can start noticing more clear progress. Strength gains are now becoming more obvious. You're lifting heavier than you did when you first started, or if you started with body weight workouts, then you will now notice that maybe you can do a more difficult version of an exercise. For example, if at first you did push-ups with your hands against the wall, then now you might feel like I can put my hands on a little bit lower, which makes the push-ups a little bit harder. So maybe you put your hands on a bench or on a table, which then shows that your strength has improved. Check out the video where I show you the most important exercises for a beginner, and push-ups are also included in this video together with modifications. Make sure to check out this video. It's titled Start Getting Fit in Less Than 10 Minutes. On weeks 6 to 8, you also realize that your stamina is getting a little bit better. At first, you maybe got out of breath by the end of the workout or in the middle of the workout. Some exercises are really hard to do. So now you're starting to realize that your stamina is actually a lot better. You'll notice both strength and stamina improvements also in your everyday life outside of your workouts. You can now carry bags with more ease. You can maybe go up a flight of stairs and not get out of breath. So these are all great signs that you're getting stronger. Before we get to the changes that you're most likely going to see when you get to weeks 10 to 12 and beyond, a quick note. I've created a 3-day bodyweight and bands-only beginner level workout plan that you can find in the description. There are videos for each exercise as well as written notes so that you can make sure that your form is really good. There's no cardio, there's no HIIT training in this plan. It's just strength training with body weight and bands. Make sure you grab your guide in the description below. And now we're getting to weeks 10 to 12, and this is the time where you're most likely going to see some visible results. How much change you see depends on your starting point. What was your level of fitness, what was your body weight, and so on when you first started. And it also depends on whether or not you have changed your nutrition. But generally speaking, here's what you are starting to see around that 10 to 12 week mark. Your clothes are starting to fit a little bit differently, and you're going to feel better in your clothes. Especially around the midsection, you'll notice that your clothes are getting a little looser. If you have taken pictures before you start your journey, which I really encourage you to do, and now you compare them to your pictures from week 12, you're going to see a difference. I recommend that you take pictures, and of course this is nothing that you absolutely must do, but this is one way how you can tell that you're making progress. A lot of people don't want to do it because they don't like the way they look, but if they take some pictures before they start their journey and then about 12 weeks later, then when they put these photos side by side, they can see the difference there. It is so much harder to notice any difference if you're just living your life and you do see yourself every day in a mirror, but if you don't have anything to compare it with, then you may not see the change that's actually happening. I've seen it over and over again where people say, oh, nothing has changed. And then we put the pictures side by side, literally side by side, and we can tell that yes, there is a change that's happening. And one more thing that happens around weeks 10 to 12 is that other people are starting to say, hey, I'm noticing something different about you. Or if they don't say, they do notice. Now that you have an idea of what your timeline will look like, here's something important I want to mention. Even though the title of this video is how long does it take for me to start seeing results from my workouts as a beginner, I want you to ask yourself, am I building habits that last? Ask that first. Because know that a lifestyle change that leads to true transformation is way different from, let's say, 14-day challenge. Most people can do hard things for 14 days, but if these things that they're doing are really extreme, then they just cannot continue. Think about some really extreme workout plans or super rigid diets or something like that. You may have started out well and you were excited and motivated, but you couldn't do it for more than 14 days because it was just too much and way too extreme. Many people do these quick challenges and end up jumping from diet to diet and workout plan to another workout plan, always getting some results at first, but nothing that will last. That's why building small, consistent habits over time is so critical, instead of taking big leaps that nobody can continue doing. Let me tell you something really important. Your results are guaranteed if 3 things come together: smart training, consistency with training, and enough time. So tell me, how long have you been working out? And what was the first change that you started to notice? Leave a comment below. If you like this video, check out the next one too and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my new videos.